Okay, I'm at 1 West Wind Lane in Wilton. This is Grant Putnam Landscaping. Just want to review our conversation and some of the landscape improvements that we were talking about. So one of the items was installing a patio down on this section of the property. From here to the corner of the house is 15 feet. I might suggest in taking the patio starting here and carrying it about 3 feet past there, so 18 feet. All right, just to give you a little more depth and width. And then from here to the rock is about 15 feet. So I would end up stopping the patio roughly in front of that rock. So 18 by 15 foot patio. You're going to notice that the grade does rise up a little bit on that end, so we might end up having to put Belgian block to kind of retain the earth, especially since the propane tank is there as well, because we really can't cut the grade any lower. All right, so that might need as a retainer. You could consider putting a sitting wall on that side as well if you wanted to put in like a short retaining wall, say that's like 20 inches tall or 15 to 20 inches tall, and by doing that, essentially, then you'd have more of a level area up there, which not necessarily a necessity, but just an idea. Okay, because you could backfill the sitting wall and then raise up and level that area out a little bit, and then plant in that area so you're blocking the air conditioner. Maybe you can relocate the propane tank underneath the deck. All right, and then this way you could plant in front of both of those and not have to be able to look at them. All right. If we're going to plant in this area, it probably makes sense to remove the stumps. I would probably grind that bigger stump, and then we could probably yank out that stump, and that stump with our excavator. Okay, and then we could end up kind of softening this patio by putting some plantings, looking out into the woods. I think that would look nice. Okay. The lawn, like I had mentioned, is more of a year process, but if you want to make a big improvement this year, then perhaps you could consider having us take over around the August time frame so we can do the correct lawn renovation in September. Talked about grinding out this stump, so again, that'd be a tree work company job. You'd have to grind it out. But before you grind it out, you're going to have to lift up all these plants, grind it out, put in more topsoil, take all the stump grindings out, which is all like basically wood chips, remove all that, and then replant the hydrangeas. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrangeas here. What you could do is you could replant those so they're running along the edge of the deck rather than just all one clump. You could, after that job is done, you line them along the deck and then put perennials in the front. So you have roughly a 25 foot by 3 foot area running through here that you could put some nice color in here. I think that would look nice. Okay. I'm not sure if you want to mulch that area over there. It hasn't been mulched in years. Perhaps it's not that important, and from a cost perspective, maybe it doesn't make sense. Okay. You've got some barberry back there. Looks like some more hydrangeas that the deer have been eating. And some holly and a dwarf Alberta spruce. Okay. These are 4 Andromedas. You can leave those where they are. I think those are fine. Then rethink about what you're going to plant in this area, roughly 20 feet by 4 feet. You get afternoon sun on this side of the house. Then I rip out all these inkberry holly, all these taller plants along the back, rip them all out and replace with another type of a plant. Maybe evergreen. Maybe you do more boxwoods through here. Okay, so that's roughly 22 feet by 4 foot area behind here. And everything in the front, the spirea is fine, just have to be maintained, have to be trimmed back. I think you might have hostas in here, growing in here, so that's fine. You can leave that where it is. You got some lilacs here, that's fine. And it looks like you got some more perennials in here as well, so probably just leave those where they are. So eventually you really got to rethink this area. The blue spruce is going to keep on growing bigger and it's going to block your walkway. So you could take a proactive approach to that and remove it, right? You might even be able to transplant this. I'm just seeing how close it is to the driveway. Problem is, if you try lifting this up, there's roots that are going to go into the driveway and it'll break the driveway. So if you remove it, I would say you just have to cut it down. And I'd probably remove this tree too, because all the damage it took from the storms. Remove the juniper, and then rethink this bed at some point. All right, so they end up putting a new focal tree, probably where this tree is currently, and re-landscape, put new plantings around it. So that's an idea. Okay. We talked about trimming back all the boxwoods in the property, trimming back the butterfly bush. So this is a smooth leaf hydrangea. It's a different type of hydrangea than the back. But I think that's fine, the location where they are. You might decide to add more vinca, which are what you have here, more vinca throughout here, so you have more of a green, lush mat. So you could get a couple flats of vinca as an option if you wanted to. This is all vinca over here. You definitely need mulch for these beds running through here along this side, mulch through here, mulch down there. All right, and then obviously mulch along the back beds along the foundation of the house. Not against the woods. I think you could probably avoid that. So I'll quote out the mulch for you as well. Let's see here. And we talked about landscaping this bed in here, which is roughly 40 feet by 3 feet, starting here, running down through here, and then you have another smaller bed on the other side of the wall that's 18 feet by 6 feet going through here. This is filtered sunlight because you got the tree canopies up top. That's why the plants are going on an angle, reaching towards the sun. Okay. And this bed's pretty straightforward. You get the juniper, some lilacs, some iris, one azalea in there. So that just perhaps just needs maintenance. And that's it. So I'll put together kind of a comprehensive proposal, shoot it over to you, and take it from there. Oh, I almost forgot. The evergreen trees, the white pine trees that are overgrown. So concept would be to perhaps remove those and replace those with another type of a narrower growing evergreen tree that doesn't lose its lower branches and gives you more screening from the ground up, because right now obviously you can just see underneath the canopies of these trees. So I'll take a measurement of this now. I can give you a quote for this as well. That's it. We'll talk to you soon.